Education is knowledge, and knowledge is power. I thought I'd look up the Insurrection Act and share with you what that act entails. And what is the difference between the Insurrection Act and martial law? Well, stay tuned because you won't want to miss this
You've
one.
probably seen the phrase Insurrection Act thrown around in the news, right? It sounds intense, and honestly, it causes a lot of confusion, and maybe even a little bit of fear. So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and get to the bottom of what this law actually is, and just as importantly, what it isn't.
I mean, picture this. U.S. military troops on American streets. It's a jarring image for a lot of people, and it brings up a huge question right away. Is this tyranny in action, or is this actually part of the law? Well, the answer is a lot more interesting than you might think.
All right, let's just dive right in. The whole goal here is to get past the scary headlines and focus on what's real, on the facts. We're going to look at the law itself, where it came from, and the crucial guardrails that are built right into it. And this is exactly why this stuff matters. You know, this isn't just some dusty old law to study. The source material for this explainer puts it perfectly. If you don't know the playbook, there's no way you can hold the government accountable. This is all about being an empowered citizen.
So let's start at the very beginning. What was this act even supposed to do? We got to look at its history and its original purpose, which might actually surprise you. Is it really an instrument of tyranny, or is it something else entirely? Maybe just a tool.
Okay, so the story starts way back in 1807 with Thomas Jefferson. But to really get what the Insurrection Act is, you first have to understand another law, one that came much later, in 1878. It's called the Posse Comitatus Act, and it set up the standard rule for American life. The Insurrection Act? That became the major exception to that rule.
So Posse Comitatus draws a really bright line in the sand. It basically says the military's job is over here and domestic policing is over here. They're not supposed to cross. But the Insurrection Act, well, that's the one specific legal bridge that allows them to cross it under very specific circumstances.
And this is maybe the best way to think about it. This quote is a fantastic analogy. The law itself isn't good or bad. It's completely neutral, like a hammer. Now, you can use a hammer to build something amazing, or you can use it to cause a lot of damage. It all depends on who is holding it and why.
So how does this hammer get picked up? Well, a president can't just wake up one morning and decide to send in the troops. It doesn't work that way. The law is super specific. There are only 3 legal triggers, 3 distinct situations that allow the act to be used. Okay, number 1. A state can actually ask for help. A governor can literally call the president and say, "We need federal troops." Number 2, the president can act if federal laws are being blocked and local law enforcement just can't handle it. And number 3, and this one is a really big deal, the president can step in to protect the constitutional rights of citizens when a state either can't or won't. And that third reason, it's been used in some of the most important moments in American history. Think about this. In 1957, President Eisenhower used the Insurrection Act not to crush rights, but to protect them. He sent the 101st Airborne to Little Rock to make sure 9 black students could safely go to high school, enforcing federal civil rights law when the governor was trying to defy it. Okay, this next part, this is probably the single most important distinction we're going to make. People hear Insurrection Act, and they immediately think of something else, martial law. Let me be clear, they are not the same thing, not even close. One operates within the law, and the other one, well, it just throws the law out the window. Let's break this down. It's a night and day difference. Under the Insurrection Act, the military assists the police. They don't take over. Critically, the U.S. Constitution is still in full effect, and the courts stay open. Now, martial law, the military replaces the government. The Constitution is suspended. And the courts? They're closed. It's a completely different reality.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't an opinion, this is settled law. The Supreme Court made this crystal clear all the way back in 1866. They said as long as the civilian courts are up and running, you cannot have martial law. Period. The Insurrection Act doesn't close the courts, so it's not martial law. End of story.
So, what does this all mean for you if the act is ever used? It means you don't panic. You don't hide. It means you know your rights, because guess what? They haven't gone anywhere.
So here's the playbook. First, know your rights. The Bill of Rights, the Fourth Amendment protecting you from unreasonable searches, all of it still applies. Second, document everything. Your phone is a powerful tool for transparency.
Film interactions, record details. It's a huge deterrent to any kind of overreach. And third, stay unified. A community that knows its rights is a powerful, powerful check on any authority.
And that's really what this all boils down to, isn't it? The ultimate power doesn't belong to whoever invokes the act. The real power belongs to citizens who understand the massive difference between an action taken to enforce the law and one taken to replace it.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought to chew on. When it comes to protecting our liberty and making sure our government stays accountable, is knowing the rules of the game the most powerful tool any of us can have?
Get your hands off me! I'm not resisting!
Stay down! Everyone back up now. This is a local scene. We have jurisdiction.
She is a federal matter, officer. She's in ICE custody now.